In today's video, we'll be slapping our way through honor mode in BG3 solo as a monk. Monk is considered one of the best classes in the game, especially with the Way of the Open Hand subclass. You have so much variety and so much action economy that you can easily wipe out enemies in a few turns or clear out rooms efficiently. If you enjoy the video, you can show your support by hitting the subscribe button. With that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Now, as there's any solo run, Dark Urge is always the easiest way to go, and I'm going to go halfling this run. I would like to switch up the different races just to show that any race is viable, but halflings pretty much allow you to never roll a nat 1 on attack rolls, which is great, more chance to hit. I'm going to go Lightfoot as well for stealth advantage, and Monk obviously. For our stat allocation, you got a few options here. We're going to go Tavern Brawler at level 4, so having a stat at 15, whether that's Constitution or Strength, will allow us to just bump that up. We're going to boost our Strength with potions anyway, so Constitution just makes sense. I toss and turn between Athletics or Stealth here. You could go either, I think both are fine.
You are in danger.
We're going to get the Brain to help us get through the Norload a bit quicker and get a bit more XP just by killing some few more enemies here and there. We meet Lae'zel, and we're going to tell her to jump off the Norload. And then we're going to clear out, we actually clear out all the enemies that we can on the Norload. So we get almost all the way to level 2 just before we get off the Norload. Grab your fish for the bear and make our way up here. There's a chest over here that gives you 5 XP when you open it. Nothing crazy, but you might as well grab it on your way. Jump up here. If you are doing what I'm doing and don't have strength, you can grab this strength potion if you have the digital deluxe edition. If not, you just will have to go around or have 10 strength to jump up here or be not a halfling. We're going to go the Dark Urge option here for Gale, and that will give us our first level up. Level 2 gives you nothing unique that you can choose from, so you just push on. You just get some bonus action moves that use key points if you so wish. Kill that Mind Flayer and find this rock down here. If you get the successful check, you have 2 speed potions. Back to the grove, we're going to use one of the flying potions that we got from that chest and fly up here. If you do this by crouch, you skip the fight. However, for some reason the fight just skipped entirely. Usually the fight still plays out, but the fight just didn't happen. Throw the fish next to this bear for 15 XP. We're going to save Arabella. And then after we've done that, we're going to talk to Nettie. Nettie just gives us a little bit of extra XP, and then once she leaves, we're going to steal the tadpole left here. We're going to collect all the tadpoles that we can, as they're very powerful. Speak to Mole. She'll thank you for saving Arabella and give you a quest to steal the idol. There's a few different ways you can do this, but I'm just going to play it safe and do it after I've done the Grove quest, as we're not in any danger anyway. We're going to use the Monk option to make roll and stay, and then we're going to come grab this amulet. This amulet gives us guidance so we can pass some checks a bit easier. We're going to grab the parasite of this guy's body. Embrace the desire, and that's an extra tadpole. Transform to a drow and walk through here. This will give us all the XP but not make us fight the goblins protecting. Make sure you grab the antidote from here. We'll use this to skip the Dwager in the Underdark. Come to these goblins here, and again, because you're a drow, you won't have to fight them. And they'll leave and give you the XP. This will hit you to level 3. At level 3, we get to choose our subclass, which is Way of the Open Hand. With this subclass, we get 3 different bonus actions. One allowing us to use Topple, which makes someone prone, one that makes someone stunned, and one that pushes an enemy away. These hit twice and are a bonus action, so we get so much more action economy. Come to the goblin camp. As a drow, again, we don't have to do combat. Talk to Priestess Gut and let her help you. Once she's helping you, drink the potion, and then that way you'll be captured. Don't do anything, and then Corella will come to save you and kill her for you. This is one of the 3 goblin leaders dead without us having to do anything. Pick up the parasite and pick up this Misty Step amulet. You never know when you'll need it. Come down to the Underdark, and we're going to give the antidote to this gnome here, which will allow us to skip to the Grimforge and not fight the Dwegar. Do some shopping. Grab any invisible potions that you can find. Show the Dwegar your boot. Once you get to the Grimforge, speak to these guys here and convince them to turn on Nia. If you don't get the skill check, don't stress, you can just throw them off the map and stuff like anyone else. So here we're going to throw off all the guards. This just gives us a bunch of XP for free, because even if you fail the check, it doesn't matter. Now you can come up here and grab this chest plate. This chest plate works really well with the sparkling hands if you want to go that route. I don't end up going that route in this run, as it can be a bit of a sketchy fight to get the gloves. Level 4, we get our feat. Now obviously our feat is going to be Tavern Brawler. Tavern Brawler puts our strength modifier onto our attacks twice. And our attacks to hit. So our attacks to hit are stupid high and our damage is stupid high. So when we're using a Hill Giant Strength Potion, we're getting a plus 10 to our attack rolls and plus 10 to our damage rolls. We're going to come back to the Goblin Camp now and do some kidnapping. So use Improvised Weapon on whoever you would like to kidnap. And while you're running with them, open your map and teleport away to a different area. This will bring whoever it is with you, and they'll just be doing their thing. We're now going to lay the trap of some barrels here. This is a bit cheesy, but it's a solo run, I'm going to do it. We're not going to grab Minthara. You have to do Minthara second, otherwise she will just come back to the camp for whatever reason. Kidnap her, get to a safe distance, and blow up the barrels.
No hesitation.
With this done, you have saved the goblin, the tieflings, and we can now steal the amulet here with a darkness arrow, allowing the druids not to aggro onto us straight away. You can do another method earlier, but it's just, if you get it wrong, it will mess up your whole run essentially. This just gives us the ring of protection. It's a good ring, gives us +1 AC, +1 saving throws. You don't have to get this ring, I just think it's nice to have the extra kind of safety.
Better not be cursed.
Now I'm just going to grab some money around in Act 1. While we're here, before we head over to Act 2, do some shopping. Now you don't have to, again, I mentioned this in all my videos, if you want to do the glitching route, you can. If you want to do the money route, you can. Either or is fine, you just have to be efficient with your money or do some risky pickpockets and stuff like that. Those arms there, if you throw a bomb, you'll destroy the mimic straight away, and the arms give +1 AC. You have to long rest until you get the Alfira cutscene on the Dark Urge, otherwise you will softlock your game. So do that before you go into Act 2. If you don't go into Act 2, if you go into Act 2 without doing that, you just completely softlock your game. We'll now get a new cloak from meeting the butler. This cloak we'll be using for most of the game, along with the cloak of protection. This cloak will turn us invisible when we kill an enemy for 2 turns, and the other cloak we get will give us a saving throw and +1 AC. So switch between those two for when you need. The Graceful Cloth is going to be our main armor for most of the game. However, it is quite expensive, so we're not going to grab it yet. We'll come back for that when we have a bit more power, and we'll just kill her and loot it. Make your way to the Last Light Inn. And at the Last Light Inn, you'll meet Jaheira. Do whatever dialogue options you want, just to stay safe. And come to Quadmala Statali and grab our Cloak of Protection. This is our other main cloak of the run. Grab any bombs as well while you're here. We're going to be grabbing bombs upon every level up and strong long rest, so make sure you do that. Now, we're going to use a triple jump elixir. If you don't have one, just buy one from Tali if she has one, or just rest until you find one. And then you'll be able to make 2 big jumps and do some dashes in order to get pretty much all the way there. And then you can either end turn or end exit turn-based mode and run the tiny rest of the way. Once you're at Moonrise, come straight to this trader here and grab the Ring of Free Action. This ring will stop you from getting held personed on a solo run. That will pretty much end your run if you get held personed. Talk to Zarel and play along. Use that option to skip any dialogue checks and say you'll help free Balthazar. He'll give you the key to his room and you'll be able to grab the Moon Lantern. Now the Moon Lantern will allow us to traverse the Shadow Curse lands. Now we're going to come back and we're going to kill this trader for their Grateful Cloak. You can probably do it earlier. As you can see here, I'm not in any danger really at all. I get the surprise round, I topple her, I end my turn, she ends up getting up because she's surprised, and then I just end the fight there. That's crazy. And then we'll loot our body here. So this is going to be our main armor class, armor for the run. It gives us some extra dex, armor class, and less falling damage. Now we're going to come to the crash and kill all these guys. This shows the stealth aspect of this build, where I can just easily kill most of these guys without going into combat. This is in conjunction with the stealth robe, obviously. And these guys give 75 XP each, so it's a significant amount of XP to come grab when you just one-shot them all. We're now going to go into the crash. Make sure you transform into a Githyanki, otherwise you will have to pass a pretty high skill check.
Stay away from the Githyanki.
Now I make my way back into Act 2 after I've got the checkpoint, and I just start throwing all these guys into the pit. This will give me my next level up. These guys are quite scary, so if you get put in combat, hide. At level up, we'll get an extra attack here at level 5. These stunning strikes are useful. I wouldn't rely on them, but if you want to use them, you can. We're gonna now just do a little bit of XP getting here. These guys, if you're sitting up here with a bow, will not see you, so you can just slowly snipe away at them. It takes a little bit of time, but it's 100% safe, and they all give a good amount of XP, so you might as well just quickly do it. Alright, now that we're fully set up pretty much, we're gonna go do some boss fights and clean up Act 1. So we're going to do near first. Once it's finally a good opportunity for us, we do our action and get him prone, and then we can just smack him to death. Light work. Next, the Dwager. Now, when I said I was almost set up, I realized here that I was forgetting something quite crucial, because I don't have proficiency in any of the parts that this gives. But I almost die here. Right here. So I don't have any anti-crit. I almost got one shot by this guy. Now this is why anti-crit is so important on a solo run. It is so important. Get anti-crit. I use a shield I'm not proficient with for most of the rest of the run, just so I have some kind of anti-crit. You can go a medium armor instead of your light armor or your just clothing option. That means you won't get the wisdom stuff, so then you can just spec that into other things and stuff like that. Move the build however you like. It's probably safer going the medium armor route, but you might just have to go a different subclass, a different race to get proficiencies and stuff like that. I do a bit of a shopping refresh between this fight as I ran out of invis potions and stuff like that, and then I come back, finish them off. Next, I come to Grim to come and get my anti-crit after that scenario. So I do the usual throwing things off at Grim and then finishing him off with an arrow to make sure I 100% secure the XP. Then we make the shield and the armor. The armor I just sell, the shield I end up using, even though I'm not efficient with it. All that means is we can't cast spells, and we lose our unarmored bonus from Monk, which is fine, it's only 1 AC different. Now I come to the goblin camp and just clear that up. Again, this is what I mean with this advantage on stealth throws. If you're already invisible with this cloak, you can just slowly just punch all these weak enemies and they will die and you won't have to fight them. Pretty strong. I now come to collect my buff from the Sovereign's Spore. This gives a plus D6 to attack rolls, ability checks, things like that. Now we'll do the Spider Matriarch. This fight I always end up struggling with in most of my runs. I feel like I've got to do some kind of techie. It's got a lot of HP. This run, not too bad, really. So I get the surprise round, which is amazing. And we do some extra attacks. I'm going to throw a speed potion on myself here for the future rounds. And I still get the same amount of attacks as I would this round if I didn't. So, works. I then save this legendary action shot, which is great. And I turn invisible for killing that spider, which means I can safely set up for this next turn. Now, my speed potion will run out at the end of this turn. So I've got to try to do as much damage as I can to either kill it or be in a safe position. So I'm going to try to get to the prone here, which I fail. So I go for the unarming strike, which stuns him, thankfully. And I hit him, or her, sorry, as much as I can. I don't quite get enough damage to finish, which is fine. So now I just got to survive some rounds. Obviously, thankfully me and the spider will both miss next round, which results in me only having to dodge the spider for 1 round. Oh shit. This way. So this is going to be Spider Queen's Wrath. And we dodge the first attack. And we get hit by the second. If we get hit by both, there is a chance we die there. But thankfully our AC is pretty high for Act 1. And that's the Spider Matriarch down. The rest of it is light work to clean up. I grab the Dark Amethyst.
Wonder what's down there.
And I go grab the book.
Will you try to examine the book, but the longer you
This
stay-
book will give us some
Will you try to examine
extra
the longer you stay
checks for our wisdom.
tracking
Just allowing us to be able to do some save throws. And if you want to do some stuff in Act 3, you can. Don't know what this ogre was doing, but did a little funky dance. This is quite a big spike here. We can switch between doing extra damage of either of these damage types. Okay. Now, we can't be rolling around holding a lamp in Act 2, as we want to do unarmed attacks. So we come to the Dryder here, and we're going to try to convince him to give us the lamp. We have 4 inspiration points, and I'm more than happy to use all of them in order to get this lamp.
This is not Her Majesty's will.
After we get the lamp, he walks away, and we are going to take it. Now we can freely walk through around Act 2 after releasing the Fixie. Now the Shar's Gauntlet was a little bit of a struggle. It wasn't that I didn't have enough movement and range in order to destroy the portals. So I just had to kind of slowly pick off enemies and whatnot, have a quick sleep. And this fight in particular was, I didn't have enough AC to just face tank it like I did in the Lazel video. So I had to get a little bit creative, and I just went invisible. And after I went invisible, the door opens up after all the portals despawn, because I think the fight is over when it's not. So now I come into this room here, and I slowly aggro the enemies into Balthazar's minions, and they fight it out for me. after they clean all that up and die, I then fight Balthazar in a 1v1.
Seems you're
Well, he doesn't respect the 1v1. No, he's actually quite scary. He does a lot of damage. So, I've just got to wait and try and get in a good position here. And if I get him prone, I should be able to just win. I missed the prone there, but I've still got another bonus action from our fast action. Here, I decide I'm going to try heal, not realizing I was bone chilled. So I go throw an invis potion and walk 2 feet away. Thankfully, Balthazar just dashes and tries to hide. And he reses another ghoul, which is fine by me. And then I can just come in next turn and finish him off. Next we complete the Shar gauntlets, get our umbral gems. We're not doing the Walk of Faith one, as that is too buggy and too annoying, so we're going to use the skip in order to dodge that one. We fight ourselves, we get a surprise round and finish it straight away. We're then going to just grab some angelic reprieve potions as our key points restore and short rest. Now, I come back to the crash here because I haven't done that, and normally I'd explode these guys. I've done it in both of my videos on solo honor mode. So I decided, you know what? I'll do it legit. Partially legit, I suppose. I use a greater invis and I fist him. So yeah, not the most legit fight, but hey, it's better than blowing them up, I suppose. Then from here, the rest aren't too bad. Take out the casters and the range guys, and then finish off any of the melee ones that are left. After this, talk to the Dream Guardian, and she gives us a bless buff. And then we're going to clear out the rest of the crash. Now the crash isn't too hard besides this main enemy out here. You just have to make sure you know who you're attacking, and not to just ego it and think you can survive when you can't. Use your invis potions. Be careful, retreat if you have to. Don't just sit there thinking you'll be able to just tank 20 Githyanki, whatever, right? You won't be able to. The Githyanki are probably the scariest enemies in the game, honestly. Like, give them the respect. These two enemies gave me trouble in my last run, so I had to make it personal and annihilate them on sight. And then after that, we clear the rest of it out. And we're done in the Githyanki crash. Next, we come to the Doctor. Now the Doctor is an essential part of this run. We have to get the amulet if we want to do a strat in Act 3. I failed the roll here, so I have to actually do the fight, which the fight's not too hard. I slowly kill off the nurses, so he'll end up using an action to resurrect the nurses. And if you just leave and come back, you'll be able to get a surprise round quite easily, and then just rinse and repeat until it's a 1v1. Here, the last one. Okay, so now we're in a 1v1. He can do a lot of damage, but he kind of requires the other nurses to be around to do monster damage, right? He can do a multi-attack, which hurts, but if you're just patient and you know what you're doing, you can do a pretty good job in balancing and matching this fight. So he hits me there and stuns himself on my shield of thralls. And then I make him prone. So he's right now a very easy target. I could kill the nurse here with one of my punches. It's probably not an awful idea actually, it's probably correct. But it's fine. I win the fight regardless, so I prone him again, and then we end the turn. So this is where he multi-attacks me. He did 27 damage, so like if he double hits there, again, could kill. Thankfully he doesn't. I finish her off. And then it's just the 1v1 from here. Which, with all our actions, we can do quite easily. Now we're going to grab the amulet of this doctor. It's an essential amulet for Act 3 if you want to do the same strat I'm going to do on Orin. Now for level 8, or 7, sorry. Level 7, you could just do a couple more points in Monk if you want. We're going to go Rogue. Rogue is quite good for a few reasons. We get expertise of a few skills. You can go a couple different options. I go Stealth and Sleight of Hand. But we also, at level 3, Rogue will get Thief, which gives us more bonus actions, which you can use for more Monk skills. Then I go for a quick drink down at the pub. Kill some Githyanki over here, while invisible of course. Now, if you want to grab a different pair of arms, you can come over here in the Shadow Curse lands and kill these measles. And after you kill these measles, you'll be able to get to a chest. This chest has some gloves in there. Now, when you do radiant damage, you apply radiant orbs. Now, with our passive, you can do radiant damage just on punching. And radiant orbs will make enemies have -1 to their attack rolls, depending on how many turns they have radiating orbs for. Just a different option. I don't use it for this run, but I just thought I'd mention it. The Toll Keeper, I actually do the roll for this one. I normally always just fight it, because it's not that hard to fight. Just make sure you don't have your money on you. And then I clear out Moonrise Towers. I do this from the top down. I just think it's more satisfying and easier that way. So you don't have anyone running up from behind you if you've already cleared above and behind and whatnot. So slowly clear out all the enemies here. This gives a ton of XP, and then you won't have to fight them all when you go fight Ketheric. Level up. On our next level here, we just go Rogue again, and this gives us some bonus actions we can use. Roll here, and then he will leave us, allowing us to grab the gem. I didn't get the option where he will kill himself for the XP, but that's fine. Use a Featherfall potion, and then you'll be able to come to this edge here and jump down, rather than using one of your gems to get down here, which means we don't have to do the Walk of Faith trial. And then you can place them in there. I now do a respec here. I don't change anything, I'm simply just doing this to refresh shops so I don't lose my spore buff. I'm now looking just for invis potions, healing potions, smoke powder bombs, and holy water. Before you do the night song, make sure you get all the supplies you want. I did not get enough. That's a bit of foreshadowing. I then come to kill Isabel. for your Dark Urge questline. You'll need to do this to get your Slayer form, so then you can 1v1 Orin later on in Act 3. Now, Ketheric. We're going to use a Potion of Fly, Potion of Speed, Enter. You don't have to use your Potion of Speed straight away, but we like to use our bonus actions, so I just think you might as well do that. Now we're going to just try go all in on Ketheric here. If you're lucky and you prone him, there's probably a chance you can get close to one phasing him. I don't quite get it here, so I go invisible and fly up here. Once it comes my turn again, I fly down and start hitting Ketheric. I don't get him quite close enough to get him into disappear yet. Yeah, you get him to about half HP. So again, rinse and repeat. I'm going to go lethargic next turn, so we really want to make sure I'm invisible this time. And then we're just gonna wait till our next turn. Once it comes our turn, I use some bombs here that would not need later. We'll never need more bombs. They're a very disposable. I got Ketheric's threshold over and killed some extra guys, and I figured that, you know, I might as well just throw another one.
We'll kill the other main target here, and then after that, it's just the Necromites, which are easy to kill. They only take 1 melee each. We're going to go into the tower.
While we're down here, we're just going to kill everything that we can. They give a good amount of XP, and they're not all that harmful. There's a few rooms that could be a bit stressful, but if you know what you're doing, it's not too bad. Use this to get a free long rest. And then we're going to head down into our favorite fight. This fight is extremely hard. I just tried to organize my bombs and stuff here. I end up taking them out of the bag later anyway, so this was a waste of time. I'm going to summon an elemental just to tank some hits for us, and then we're going to use a Potion of Fly and go invisible with Greater Invis. Greater Invis with our stealth, we'll be able to kill a fair few of the enemies before we get detected, which is great. The Mind Flayer is always target number 1. You always want to kill the Mind Flayer first. So come up here, and we're going to use some of our key points to kill the Mind Flayer. I actually don't get him fast enough, so he heals the full. So I gotta use another bonus action. Now we're gonna free Aelin. Freeing Aelin will start the fight. Not with you in it though. So once you attack one of these guys, you're gonna be put into the combat, regardless if you use stealth or not. We're going to bring our water elemental up here. This just gives us some more breathing room. And then we're going to finish off more of these brains, just to clear up some of the action economy on the enemy team. Now we're going to try finish Ketheric off. Ketheric, you want to make sure, if you're doing the strat properly, you get him close to death, but not finish him on one of your turns. Then skip your turn, and at the very start of your next turn, you kill him with like one attack or so. I play this fight extremely safe. If you want to be more ballsy when you're doing these fights, you can. But at this point in the run, you're so far into your auto mode run, there's no point doing stuff just for a little bit of extra time save. Here's a great example. You could fight him here. I'm just going to go invisible, as it's perfectly set up to finish him off in the next turn. So here we are now.
I think I just hit once. Nice.
This is where it goes horribly wrong for me. Yeah, so I didn't quite finish it.
I survived this one.
Thankfully, I
have a
survived the
chance.
round. Now, I'm sure I could play it safe, fully heal, try play more sustain. I kind of got scared and just full sent it.
Holy. Yeah, so if you're gonna blow up Merc, probably make sure you bring enough bombs so that doesn't happen. Because I was not prepared for that at all.
After that fight, we take a nice little rest
Beyond
and
the
get
camp.
woken up rudely by some Githyanki. I misty step over to ensure I can just walk to the portal.
Let's see what this does.
Once we're here, we're going to do some throwing techniques to get rid of the Githyanki, except one of them we're going to kill, as they have a pair of boots that we are interested in. We're going to jump up here and throw this one off. Now, because of Tavern Brawler, our throw rate is very high. Throw this one off. This is the one we're going to kill normally. She has a lot of HP. It might take a few turns to get her down. Loot the boots off her. This adds our wisdom modifier to our unarmed attacks. And then go help the Emperor because he couldn't kill him himself. After this, we agree to evolve. This gives us some extra tadpole abilities that might come in handy throughout the rest of the run. Now, we're going to go into Act 3. Now, Act 3, the very first thing, like always, is a shopping trip. We're going to sell all our useless stuff and buy some potions and the Stony and Bony statue. The potions we're looking for are Cloud Giant Strength elixirs, healing potions, invisible potions, all the usual kind of stuff. Come to Bony and we'll get our statue for 5,000. This gives us a permanent bless buff after we long rest. We're going to then sign a deal with Raphael to get the Orphic Hammer. Don't worry though, we need to go into his house to get some items anyway, so we'll be seeing him shortly. We're going to fly into Worm's Rock, skipping the conversation with the guards. This will give us some XP and hit our next level up. For our next level, this is where we really power spike as we get the Thief subclass, giving us an extra bonus action. We'll allow us to use more monk moves. We're then going to agree with the alliance with Gortash. We don't have to kill him, as he is quite a hard boss. Then long rest, so we get our bless buff for the rest of the run. We're then gonna pick up some Cloud Giant Strength elixirs and some potions. And then this chestplate. If you grab this chestplate, it is quite good. We can use an unarmed attack as a reaction if someone misses us. And heal if we pass a successful throw, and gives +2 AC. Very good. I would highly recommend if we have the money, or if you want to glitch and steal it, you can do that too. Alright, we're going to come down to the vaults down here, as this has a spell that we're going to use to win the game essentially. So come in here, open this chest and read this book. This will give you the scroll. Don't use it until the end of the game. We can use some technique to make it do a lot of damage. We're then going to come to Cazador's Palace, and we're just going to clear out all the level 1 enemies and the bats and wolves. They give us a huge amount of XP and they are very easy to kill. To get into the door, to get to the wolves and bats, we have to first find this room here by activating both the torches, kill this skeleton to grab a ring. Then come into this room to read a book to get the password.
Door is looking closer.
Then you're gonna get into this door here, and then just kill all the enemies in here. They're worth so much XP, and they're not that hard. Once you kill them all, just leave and go do some other quests around here. I'm going to do the Unholy Assassins. This is the second person on the list I have killed here. Shoot Dark Tarkov visible, kill him, take his hand, and then teleport away. Then we're going to be met with this guy, and he'll tell us the password to get into the Unholy Assassin.
The locked door has red text on.
Use the hand that we cut off to get in, and talk to Zevarok.
Is he?
Once he tells us to do the trial, we're going to kill the elephant, gives us a bunch of XP, and gives us an amulet, which allows us to reach Orin's temple.
On the half-orc's
We're going to get a bunch of XP for passing this check. You can also kill them all and you get the same amount of XP. If you pass that perception check, and some pretty easy checks here, especially because we're dipped into rogue, we can use this option to get in pretty freely.
Of course, always come.
1500 XP, and then when we enter, we get another 500 XP. Once you're here, collect any Terrazul you can find from this trader. Come here on every level up, and it gives you an extra action with no resource to use. After killing some clowns, I hit another level up, which we're going to go into rogue here again. You don't have to do this, but this is the only way to get your second feat, and I think alert's just way too powerful on a solo run. You can up your wisdom modifier if you want some extra AC and some extra damage from your boots. I think alert's just the best. Or you can just go complete Cipher and subclass if you want as well. Totally up to you. Pick whatever suits your style, but in my opinion, alert's too strong. Now we're going to do Orin. So you want to make sure you have Luck of the Fire Realms on and you haven't used it this long rest. And you want to switch to this amulet that we got from the Doctor in Act 2. On a critical hit, we can paralyze a humanoid enemy for 2 turns. Orin is humanoid because when 1v1ing her as a Dark Urge, so she will not be in her Slayer form.
The changeling stands no chance, Fiendish one.
So this is quite easy. This is not a new strategy at all. This is well known. But what you want to do is you want to come over to Orin and hit her. If you didn't critical hit, it will prompt you with Luck of the Firearms if you want to critical hit, which obviously we do. And then it'll ask us, do we want to paralyze? And yes, when they're paralyzed, they cannot use any reactions. That's a guaranteed way. Now with critical hits as well, we'll be doing a massive damage, allowing us to just kill her on 1 turn. And just like that, Orin's dead. From here you can go into the end of the game if you want. You don't really need to max level, but I think it's just helpful to get that extra kind of few bonuses just in case, right? The extra bit of HP as well. You can throw all these guys off for XP. They don't care. They just throw them off. You get 400 XP each. Meet this guy here, talk to him, and pass some dialogue checks, and you get 3000 XP. And now I'm going to go into the House of Hope. Now there's 2 main items we want here.
As the figure flickered.
We get another level up here, and we're just going to go Fighter for Action Surge. Doesn't really matter which one you pick here. So we need a helmet that gives us anti-crit, that's not an armor. If you pass the perception check here, you can lockpick this thing. not lockpick, I think it's Arcana check. You can do this infinite times until you pass it once you've seen it. So just keep going until you eventually hit it. And you'll be able to get a helmet in here which gives you crit protection. That is not an armor piece, it's just a clothing, right? So we will be able to get our bonuses from our wisdom, which is great, which means we can now unequip our shield. Then we're going to kill the harlot and get these gloves here, which we're going to replace pretty much immediately. They're just a straight up upgrade to what we're wearing now. But once we save hope, we're going to get some better arms that we're going to put on over that. Open this vault here and read this letter. This will give you this password to rip your contract. Once you rip the contract, you're locked in. You can also grab this amulet over here for more constitution, which gives you way more health and advantage on constitution saving throws. And same over here, there's some gloves that give you, put your strength set to 23. I don't use the gloves, but if you want to use a different elixir, you can. Now I'm going to free hope. I think that's the first time I've ever used a teleporting arrow, but it felt kind of cool. Now, once we've killed everything, we're going to free hope from her chains. Listen to her yap. Now on for the big man. I've summoned all my summons I can think of, and I'm going to throw some speed potions on either side. These are just so I don't have to use the actions during combat, but as you can see, I don't actually reset my action. So I'm actually down action anyway. I'm going to use some inspiration to try get Yuget here. I do manage to succeed. He kind of messes me around a bit, but it's just one less enemy I have to worry about trying to kill. Now, Raphael's kind of hard when you don't have a paralyzing effect kind of thing, right? As he can beguile you with bejewel you or something? Beguile you. When he does that, you can't hit him for 2 turns, so that's good. So I just try to clear out all the enemies that are around him. They can slowly whittle you down, but they don't really hit you all that often. It's more hope I'm worried about. I need to keep hope alive for the gloves I want. The whole reason I'm in here early to begin with. So we want to keep hope alive. Now hope almost dies in turn 1, which is good. Exactly what I wanted, for sure. But thankfully, because she's a cleric healer, she can heal herself and all our team up every turn, which is great. Okay, back on our turn, we're going to kill some more of the enemies around Raphael. We still can't hit him because it's still Beguile. So, just clearing as many enemies as we can. We get this enemy quite low, but I don't want to use an extra attack here. So I figure someone else will end up finishing him for me. So I use the rest of my actions on this other enemy here, which I kill him. And sure enough, Yugo ends up killing the one I left on the ground low. And then we have just finished up clearing out any other enemies left around. After this, now the focus is trying to get Raphael. So I managed to get the prone here, but I only have 1 action to use now anyway, so it's not all that helpful. I'm going to go lethargic next turn, so I'm going to use a scroll of invulnerability on top of the second speed potion I threw at the start. This will mean I can walk in there, I'll become lethargic. In theory, this is actually so smart, and then Yuga actually just kind of ruins it by concussing me away. So now we're going to try hit Raphael again. He's still got all his Beguile stacks, so we got to work our way through that. I should be hitting him with like my summons as well to try bait out more of those stacks, because he only has 4 or 5, I think. I'm going to try charm him here so he can't attack me, and I hit it. And then we're going to go for some attacks. Hopefully he doesn't beguile us. We save, so we can go again. He's prone, so he can't react to us. Good. And then we just hit him like normal. It's not going to do insane damage, but you know, every little bit helps when he's got 666 health. Yeah, I deliberated what I do here. If I had any other better actions to use, but I don't. So I just hit him and go back into my globe and wait till my next turn, which is just another rinse and repeat. I get the prone off again, so he can't react. So we're just down to smacking him. I do go in lethargic next turn, so I'm gonna have to either use another speed potion in my bubble or just hope I don't get hit. So yep, here we go. We're gonna throw another speed potion in there and then walk in. Once it comes to my turn again, we're going to hit him. Unfortunately though, I don't get so lucky and we get beguiled. I just work on hitting some of the pillars just to reduce the healing that he might get if he consumes souls. And we just go into another globe here. Invis potions also work just as well. We lose our haste, and then it comes back to our next turn. Here I was feeling kind of confident until I realized I don't have any key points left, so I don't have any ways to prone him and stuff and do way more damage. So I just went for normal hits and then I got beguiled again, but that was his last one. So I used an Invis potion and hide, and with hopes next turn I also use an invisible potion. Raphael's gonna ascend, which is quite scary. We do not want to take any hits from this, as he will just annihilate us. So Hope goes invisible and hides away, so now everyone alive on our team is invisible. Once it goes back to our next turn that I can hit him, I give him one nice smack, and that's the fight. This fight with Hope surviving gives us these arms. These arms give us a 1 to d10 of force damage and give us hit points or advantage on our attacks or saving throws, and puts our constitution up by 2. Extremely good. We then do some extra things around the city and hit level 12. At level 12 we get action surge, and now we're fully set up to go into the last fight. Tell Gortash that we're ready and that we're keeping the stones, and head in to the Elder Brain.
If you sneak when you're walking past here, you won't go into combat. Since there's no need to fight anyway, we're max level.
I used all my last inspiration to try get this, but I don't hit it, unfortunately. Emperor saves us, and we give him one last hit goodbye. We save Orpheus and make him turn into a mind flayer. In the courtyard, we throw a invisible potion to turn me and Orpheus both invisible, and walk to the end so we don't go into combat. Then with either our characters, we're going to use levitate to get to the top. Orpheus has more movement speed, but you'll be able to get there with both, it doesn't really matter. And once you get there, it will teleport the other. Once up top, buff up, use your fierce stakes on Orpheus a bunch. We're going to use this to be able to one-shot the dragon. So spam that up and then go into turn-based mode and use both your action and a bonus action using another cast of them. This will give you the max you can possibly have, and then you're going to have to wait a sec and spam again after, and then go up the stem. This is so you can use your bonus action in the fight as well, to make sure you have 7 stacks.
I would ensure using a potion of vigilance as well on Orpheus so he goes first. Here we are in the fight. We're going to use both of our action and bonus action to use our stake. This will give us 7 stacks, giving us 15 damage per stack on hit. We'll then throw a haste potion at both of our characters, and then use Orpheus to cast the spell that we got earlier that I told you to save. Because we have to use multiple projectiles, each of the fearless stakes procs on each projectile. This kills the dragon straight away, and we can get the Emperor one shot. You can probably use 2 and 4 and it probably will kill him, but I did just be safe. And then finish the Emperor off with my character, and then kill the tentacle that I spawned as well. Then we're going to fly to the sides. We're going to fly our characters together so we can use a scroll of invulnerability and we'll be fine. Morpheus gets stunned by a mind flayer on our next round, which makes it a little bit more tricky. Make sure we're both in the field so we don't take damage, especially from the crown. We use backlash on the Dream Guardian, which will one-shot it because our stacks still work on that as well. And we'll get our monk on our next turn to start killing a few of the mind flayers. We'll summon another scroll of invulnerability, and then on Orpheus on our next round we'll use chain lightning. With a few extra stacks left, he'll be able to kill these extra mind flayers in a few scrolls, and we'll be happy. This is the last time we have that speed potion as well, so we want to make sure we can kill all the lethal threats. I start channeling here, but it doesn't really do anything because I'm going to go a lethargic after this turn anyway. Once hit lethargic, we just got to wait for the turn skip. There's no meaningful enemies in combat, so it'll just take 2 seconds. And then we're going to channel again. And then on our Orpheus next turn, the portal will open to the Netherbrain. So we're going to click on Orpheus, and then he'll be able to go through first. This is very important. Once he's through, fly him down here, or I don't, doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to use a scroll to try to do as much damage as I can. I use a scroll of disintegration. And then that will trigger the mind break and reaction from the brain, but because our character wasn't in there, he would not be affected. Then we're going to fly down here, and we're just going to let loose with all of our actions that we possibly have. You might as well use your Luck of the Far Realms and stuff. It's our third attack, and we've still got our bonus attacks. We got a speed potion, and we got Terrazol, and we got action surge. We have plenty of actions remaining, and we've still got a whole 2-second turn cycle if we needed it. And there it is. That is the monk solo on honor mode. A little bit of a shorter one on this one. I tried to reduce some of the random kind of things that don't really need explanation. So I hope that was enjoyable. If not, let me know. I'll go back to the longer style. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.